Hey guys, guess who? Yep, it's me, Mike D. And of course, now we're here with the review I've really wanted to be getting to because, this is my. Well, let's just cut to the chase. Here I am with Bachmann Percy the Small Engine, who, of course, is my favorite character in tie with Thomas. Alright, now I am so glad I got to him. And I'm so glad I even get to take a break from the tender engines for now, yeah. Even though I really wish Bachmann would make more of the tender engines. Oh well. Anyways, here's Percy, and I gotta say, he may not be one of Bachmann's best, but he's still really good looking in my opinion. I mean, so that's it. So it counts for that at least. But before we get on with this, let's get on with the actual review though. No, I mean character opinion, yeah. Now, as I stated, Percy and even Thomas are my favorite characters in the show. Thomas because he's the star and, of how, he's always making mistakes and is always trying to improve and being the best at what he can do and is always being a friend to everybody. Percy because, also like him, I'm a bit naive at times, but also very friendly and very cheerful and is always trying to have a good time. And I'm a bit clumsy like him, yeah. Just like I am in some of my videos, yeah. I do have some clumsiness, but hey, that's just what makes us human, right? Okay, so let's get on with the actual model of Percy. Alright, let's go to the back first. Now, one of the flaws that this model of Percy has, and I mean flawed because he, James, and Thomas were made back in 2002 when, the range was first created. And I know Bachmann obviously wanted to make those three because Thomas, Percy, and James were the most iconic characters in the show, obviously. And so were Annie, Clarabelle, the Troublesome Trucks, Sir Topham Hatt, a conductor, Harold, and Bertie were made in that same year, which shows that Bachmann probably wanted to, come out with the most, popular and iconic characters. Well, popular and iconic are the same thing, but oh well. Alright, so let's get on with, the review, where I have actually colored Percy's, bunker for now, black, with, for now, a permanent marker. Oops, yeah. Oh well, I improvised. This is the best I could do, I know. The coal load still looks nice, but the only problem is that his bunker is a little high up, whereas in the show, it was a little lower. That way you could see his portholes, but we don't even get that because, I think Bachmann just wanted to get the size right for him. And then we even got, of course, his tail lamp. That's molded on nicely. Well, not molded on, I mean fitted on. However, there's this one strange thing. Unlike Thomas, because he was made in that year, Percy doesn't really have a brake pipe or a dummy coupling hook. Why? Ah, dear. Seems like Bachmann were too lazy and stuff at the time. I don't know. I'm just gonna assume. So yeah, the buffers are nice, and we even got the coupler, but it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, Percy looks bareback naked or something, if you get what I mean. Oh boy. And of course, since this is Percy the Small Engine, we of course get his most famous trademark. Well, a few of his famous trademarks. The number 6, and the number 6 on him looks splendid. It really does. We got, the rest of his cab, and the door, and another negative with this model is that with his stepladder, it's, really, and I've even mentioned this with Thomas, that it should be in, here a little more, so that way the steps could be out. However, they molded on his running board, and that really wasn't the case in the actual show, which can make Percy a little hard to fit through some areas. Ugh. At least this cab window over here is nice. So is the door, and I even like the wheels. This is, of course, something else I remember Percy by, that he's an 040, while Thomas is an 060. The piston and the side rods are, they're done right, and so are the wheels. And we even got his cylinders. Be careful, the stripes can scratch off, like I said earlier. And we even got, of course, his famous iconic whistle and the safety valve over here. And the brass looks nice, and here are the portholes on him. And then we even got the stripes that are molded on. And like Henry, there's even a crack right through him, and I don't mind. And thanks to, some comments from, my friends, I remember now this gold piece over here, and of course I should have, said in my old James review that Percy also has this, yeah. This gold dome over here is the steam dome, and this, of course, is his water fillet cap. Whoever said that to me, 3 years ago when I did this review, thanks. Of course, as we know, Percy is based off of a GWR 040 Avonside saddle tank engine. So, therefore, he, along with Oliver and Duck, are also Great Western heritage. Oh, and also, don't forget Toad. However, the only difference between that is that his boiler or his saddle tank wasn't, like, edged over, and he didn't have a bunker. But if you ask me, I'm happy with I'm happy with the C. Reginald Dalby version, yeah. If you guys, are far more into, the Peter and Juniper Edwards, like, look, then that's fine. I mean, I'm happy with, the one we got present day. And this is what I remember Percy from. I mean, by, actually. I mean, his boiler is nice, and then we even got, these, boxes right over here. I don't remember what this is, but I know this is the toolbox. Then we got this area, which is another nitpick. It's green, along with the rest of, his paintwork. And this is the same problem I mentioned with Thomas, where that area between his wheel arch and his tanks. Yeah, I don't know if I'm able to fit into that. I mean, the only best thing is just to take Percy off and then repaint that, like, gray or black, then, put him back together, and then you got a finished look on this guy. I don't even remember any user, regarding that. But, oh well, yeah, that's true. I mean, it wasn't that color in the show, as far as I can remember. Yeah, I mean, the rest looks just nice, and he's even got the cylinders, just like I said, and be careful not to scratch the stripes off. We've got the lamp, and we even got the coupling hook. Oh, and speaking of couplers, you already know that since Thomas, Percy, and James were the first models, as I mentioned a couple of times, that, they don't have coupling hooks. However, I was able to use my Percy, to give my Percy a coupling hook. But where did I get this from? Well, I took it off of my Bachmann Emily, because I really felt, she really wouldn't need it that much. And I decided to, give this to Percy. Because he is one of the engines that do the most shunting. And I tried to do this for Thomas, but it didn't work. I did use that putty that I used, just like I did for that lamp on Henry's front, until I can find a proper and more safer glue to use. This is the only catalyst I could use so far, and the coupling hook works. Sure, it falls off at times, but this is the only thing I could use so far until I could find a safe glue. Alright. Okay, so the lamp are on nice, and so is the brake pipe, the lamp irons, and the rest of these, areas in the front. Yeah, and as I mentioned, the toolbox. The funnel's on. The funnel's in proportion too. Then we got the face. Let's be honest. The face, it's not really one of my favorites, though. I mean, it's got a really nice, cheerful smile. But, it's a little too chubby, and he wasn't that chubby in the show. But, nonetheless, it's cute, and also kind of mischievous, just because, that's, of course, what the character is in real life. He can, play pranks on the other engines. I mean, this wasn't the way the early 2000s promo pic of Percy was, but it's still a nice smile, even though it's not right. The same for Thomas, too. Okay, so that's Percy for you. Now we'll get to the strength and speed test, and then after that, I'll show you how my front coupling works. Alright, no need to pause, but... Alright. Actually, there was need to pause, yeah. Because I have to get the camera on the tripod. And I'm having him go the other way. I wouldn't have him pull a heavy train because, you know, he's not really that strong. But Percy, and just for spoilers, even in Pirates Toby, aren't really, you know, the best in speed and strength, though. So I had him pull, you know, my mail cars on the breakdown. Yeah, I got both of them. Sadly, I even have that one with the stupid CGI logo. In hopes I could find the same one that says Soto Mail. Alright, I'll give him one more run. Sorry about that. Maybe two more runs. You know what? I'll just make up my mind here. Okay. And now I think I'll do an outer loop test. And let me pause this. Alright guys, here I am, and I got a random truck instead of using... Yeah, it specified, you know, didn't use something too heavy like the mail cars. Alright, so here we go. Let me just get this in the right place. Alright. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, my sister is doing something important, so let's just get on with this. Yeah, it kind of bounces off, so it's best to do it like this. Alright, let's just get this thing over with. Yeah, I could break off, but you can always snap it back on. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. Alright, so yeah, that's Percy. Let's take this off. There. Alright, so yeah, that's Percy, and he's almost perfect, so, because I got the front coupler, and I think, along with, Thomas, or maybe higher than Thomas, you know what, because he's flawed, I'll give him just a 9, yeah, it's, the 9, you know, is best for me, so yeah, that's, Percy, and he'll be giving a 9 out of 10, yeah. So this might be 57S signing off, and I'll be back with a review on Toby.